Hi everyone. Hi, good afternoon, class. How are you all? Oh, that's good to hear. Oh, by the way, I commend everyone for getting good scores in quiz number one. Yay, good job. So I'm assuming that you already have a problem to work on and a good idea solution for that problem. Yeah? All right. So today we are in module number five, which is prototype development and MVP. And for this module, we actually have three goals. If you're going to go to the concept booklet, you go to week number six, you will see that we have three goals for this week. Number one is to understand prototypes and MVP. Number two is to build your prototype, and number three is to use the prototype for early validation. All right. So are these goals clear for everyone? Or do you have any questions before we proceed? So having none? Okay. All right, let's go. So prototype and MVP. So right now your ideas are basically still inside your head. And let's face it, no, we are still not quite sure about the if details. So have you heard of the saying the devil is in the details? So I remember a famous quote by Ivan Sutherland which says actually Ivan Sutherland is a very famous engineer and scientist who is considered as the pioneer of computer graphics. So he said that it's not an idea until you write it down. Again, it's not an idea until you write it down. So I hope you guys get that. Okay, so let's first talk about prototypes. All right. So prototype. Prototype is a preliminary version or a model of a product, service, or process. So I remember giving you an assignment or homework. I said that you have to read the pre-session content before we proceed. And just for a review, we have different types of prototype. Now, if you noticed, we have levels of prototype based on their level of clarity. So we have the low fidelity, medium fidelity, and high fidelity prototypes. Now, the challenge for you really is to start writing down your idea, right? As I said before, we have to take the first step. Now, the question is how? So, we start with low fidelity prototypes. So, that is where we start. So, for that, we have different types of prototyping, specifically low fidelity. Number one is we have the sketches. Now, when we talk about the sketches, what are these for? So, when we have novel solutions, we use the sketches. So, usually we use the pen, pencil, whiteboard marker, we go to the drawing board. So, it's all about sketches. So, for example, the sketch is this one. Yeah, ang gulo, no? But that's sketch. Next is paper. It's a very rudimentary thing that we can use. We can use paper to create our prototype. So you can use paper to write out or to map out your idea, whether that be a digital or a product, a sketch, a simple sketch of your idea. And next one is a Lego. Um, Lego like bricks, you use bricks to create your mock-up of your prototype. So right now we have 3D printing, so it's very easy to do Lego prototyping. Okay. Next is a storyboard. Now, when do we use storyboard? So storyboards are very used when our intention is to make a service type level of a prototype. When this is when we want to experience how a product is being used by a customer or a user. So we use this for user journey. So to do this, of course, it's sketching again, sequence, for example, step one, step two, step three, what happens next, what's in the middle, what's the start, the middle, and the end. So it's about the story. Again, the story is all about the start, there's a conflict, and then there is a climax, and there's an end. So next one is digital. This is my most favorite because I use prototyping, which is more on using PowerPoint and Excel. For example, if I want to create an interactive prototype of a application, I use PowerPoint. It's very easy to use PowerPoint for me. So you use digital like Figma, Miro, for doing a collaborative works, use Miro and Figma because it's online. And lastly, we have blueprints. Okay. So blueprints, this is very new to me, to be honest. Blueprint, when I check out in Google, it's like a comprehensive storyboard wherein we you see the timeline of the front and the back, what's happening in front and back simultaneously, and what is being observed by the customer or the user. That's the blueprint. So this, for example, of the blueprint. So you see, this is the customer journey. So this is what the customer is experiencing. Now, the front stage is what we do as the founders, what the customer is seeing. And we have the backstage actions. For example, there is in a cinema or a theater, the front stage are the performers. The backstage are the effects, the lights, the sounds. Yeah, if you get what I mean. That's actually blueprint. All right. So you guys get something? Any questions? Okay, and just like anything under the sun, no, we have, of course, pros and cons. Let's go to the pros. So what is the pros of using a prototype? So number one is to visualizing ideas. Of course, it's very easy for you to explain your concept if your team or your customer is seeing what you are explaining. It's very easy to to imply, or it's very easy to explain what you want, especially what's your idea. So that's the good thing about prototype. You can provide a visualization. Second is user validation. With this prototype that the users can immediately interact, you'll get you immediately get feedback from your users. That's a very good one. And third one is identifying issues. So when your users or your team already has a prototype, you can immediately pinpoint issues. For example, oh, I think step one, for example, if it's a storyline, storyboard, oh, I think this step should be right after this. So these are issues. And next is continuous refinement. Prototype is prototype is very easy to do, very easy to implement, and that's the core of a prototype. That's why continuous refinement can be easily done through a prototype. Next is alignment among team. Alignment among team here means that your team should have the same goal or perspective or an idea of what you have as a vision. Okay. For example, as a founder, I have to work well with my team. We have the shared vision or common vision of what this prototype is about, what this prototype is about, what can it do, what it does not. So that's the good thing about prototyping. Next is improve decision making. Yeah, of course. Decision making here, because the prototype provides evidence for decision making, especially when there are already feedbacks. Do we have to do this? Do we have to scrap? Do we have to replace? That's a thing. That's next is increased adaptability, because prototypes should be flexible. They should be easily modified. That's the benefits of a prototype. It's not costly to make changes. Yeah, exactly. It's flexible, yeah, without major repercussions. And last is cost efficiency. Then it's easy. The goal is to make something which is easy to do, cheap to do. That's the benefit of a prototype. All right. So what about the cons? There's so many good things about this one. What are the cons? Are you excited? What are the cons? All right. So cons, we have two. One takes time. Number two requires iteration. Personally, for me, these are true because prototyping, though is easy to implement, takes a lot of time because you can expect a lot of iterations. I remember attending one of the prototyping sessions. Mostly hear, if you are 10 mistakes away from being successful, how fast do you want to fail? Right? I hope that sink down. Oh, that's a very powerful statement. Now, it takes time, it requires a lot of iterations, and believe it or not, all good products or all good prototypes or MVPs are born out of multiple iterations or mistakes or mistakes. All right, so I hope guys you now have an idea or clue how to turn your solutions into reality. Again, it is highly recommended actually to start it. Just start it. Write it down or act it or de- depends really, depends really on what you need. So I urge everyone to start, have fun making prototypes. Again, I have to reiterate that prototypes are for testing and refining your concepts and assumptions. So, for the interest of time, the deliverable for this module is actually a a a, a low fidelity prototype. Okay, you can write a storyboard, you can role play, you can paper wireframe, you can do a physical mock up. The choice is up to yours. The choice is up to you. The goal is for you to start making your prototype in order for you to really appreciate what you are doing. Maybe you're doing something for the better of the community, that maybe this is one of the future unicorns here in the Philippines. So let's take a break before the next topic. Thanks, guys. See you. See you. This is the end of my presentation.